Hello guys, today I will be doing a story time. So basically I'll be talking about how I left the toxic Therian and stupid ultra-human community, how they ruined me and how this could be endangering thousands of young kids today. Let me take you back to where this all started. A few years ago when I was still pretty young, I was in a horrible mental state. I felt tired and exhausted about everything and like I couldn't stand it anymore. That was until I stumbled upon a Therian compilation on YouTube. At first it was weird, but soon it felt comforting, almost like a safe space I could escape to and not like a trapped cage, which is what it actually was. Before I go further and tell you why this is, let me explain what a Therian actually is and ultra humanity as a whole. A Therian is someone who believes that they're an animal. Ultra humanity is an umbrella term for people who identify themselves outside what is traditionally considered human. While on the outside they may seem like a wholesome community, once you get to the depths of it, you realize that it's a bunch of wolves in sheep clothing. They often feature videos that show quadrobics tricks without being professionals, suggesting for little kids to enter a dangerous sport. But that's not the reason for my hatred for this community. Rather, it's a belief system promoting the idea that you are anything you identify as is really harmful to one's mental health and promotes delusions rather than acceptance and self-improvement. Truth is that you are born human and are human and will be human, and anything apart from that is not true, and fully believing you are an animal does not mean that is how you always were. It doesn't mean you are a Therian and can be a part of underlying mental issues that actually need to be addressed, not fixed by slapping on a mask and tail and calling yourself a wolf. Also about mental health. Most of this community claims to have multiple mental health struggles and disorders. And I say claim because it's so clear that most are faking. They also make a lot of videos on SH, almost like romanticizing it or pulling sympathy from others. They also claim to solve mental health problems. Take for example the other link community, which includes people who identify as animals as a quote-on-quote coping mechanism, even though it is not recommended by healthcare professionals and is actually a type of escapism, not solving the actual problem. That's where my case comes in. I won't go into detail about my struggles, but it wasn't a bright time for me, and I found this community that seemed nice, but through all those vents, ideology, and not actually fixing the root problem, I spiraled further. Luckily, I was able to get real-life help from real-life people rather than strangers online. Sad thing is, I'm not the only one who went through this. Not the first and certainly not the last. And with more and more people discovering this niche and not able to get the help, who knows,